Welcome back to Time Travel. This is Scott Barnes TV and I'm your host, Scott Barnes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Join me on another journey back down the rabbit hole to the 2000s. Y2K didn't happen. We had MySpace, Friendster, Facebook, and Twitter. From boy bands to Juicy Couture, it was the golden age of pop culture. So come with me to the new millennium. Welcome to the 2000s. We finally made it.
We made it.
We made it through that. Well, we made it through the 90s.
We made it.
And we made it through my birthday and your birthday.
Yes.
That's kind of awesome.
Now we're here.
Where fashion was a little bit frightening. It was.
It was bold. Definitely made a statement.
It was a little boldish.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was bold in a good way. It was like, look, I have a handkerchief. I'm going to turn it into a blouse.
There you go.
And put 2 strings on it. And there you go. I'm dressed.
That's it. I'm dressed with my big hoops and chunky highlights.
It was thin eyebrows.
Yeah.
That was a big thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Frosted eyeshadow with the tan and then kind of like the no lip.
You
And we
did
put
tan.
Body Bling on you as well.
Yeah.
So that was like one thing, but, and I kind of put your foundation on, but we didn't add any color yet, not even powders. Yeah, there was all those elements going on
Right.
and I was really not a super fan of all of them. The 90s was
Sure.
the supermodels and now we're in 2000 and it's all about the celebrities dominating and pop stars
Sure.
dominating everything. They were
Sure.
on the cover of magazines and everybody was like, what are they wearing? Oh my God, they pumped their own gas. Oh my
Yeah.
God, there was Brad and Jennifer.
And then Brad
And
Angelina.
Angelina. So that was a lot of, it was the love
whole
triangle. This is a point in my career where everything started to click and I started really becoming Scott Barnes. This is where it kind of happened,
Yeah.
right? So
That's what I was gonna say. Like even some of the makeup trends we've looked at, what you were doing, and even bringing in your own Scott Barnes style, which is so iconic.
Scott
even from the
Barnes-isms.
very beginning.
well, I came from a fashion painting background and all of a
Sure.
sudden I was like, went from doing models all the time
Right.
to now I'm working on celebrities.
Sure. Right.
So now all of a sudden I'm getting calls like, hey, so-and-so is going on the Rosie O'Donnell show, which was like a big show.
a huge show.
Right.
I
so now,
remember it,
and I
yeah.
was like doing like daytime
TV.
makeup on celebrities. It was weird.
I feel like you're a maverick and kind of a pioneer in that regard because you've always carved out kind of your own pathway. Like, you know, even in the early 2000s.
Because I started in the 90s and then by the time I got to 2000, I was doing like what I was kind of honing in on my craft at this
Sure.
point, and I had my own style.
Yes.
And then I met J-Lo.
Right.
Well, at the time it was Jennifer. Before she became J-Lo. We were on a magazine shoot and then she was like, what are you
Sure.
doing this Friday? And I was like, nothing. And she was like, come in. And then I did a shoot with Michael Thompson. We shot the J-Lo album cover and a whole look was born.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, let's
Yes.
do a little bit of makeup. Now I use Body Bling Original. This is the OG. This is what I started making in the blender. I made it before I even knew J-Lo. I was in Cancun, Mexico, and I had to do Fashionably Loud. And it was spring break, and all the girls were white. And they were like, make everybody tan, it's a bathing suit. And I was like, they had the runway over the water,
That's crazy.
which was great. How the hell am I doing this? And I was like, Shannon, we have to do something. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, just start dumping everything into my blender. I had a protein shake blender.
Oh, no way.
So I'm like-
oh, that's so funny. And just blending everything.
Yeah, I was like blending everything. That's how the product
Yeah.
came to be. And it just because it didn't exist on the marketplace. There was
Sure.
nothing that was like, oh my gosh, this looks like a beautiful, glowy, bronzy, shimmery body tan. It didn't exist. It just did not exist.
Yeah.
So I will take credit for creating that
You
product
should.
because
You
y'all
should.
y'all have copied me and you know who you are. All of you. Every last
We're not
one
gonna
of
say
you.
names.
Did a little bit of foundation on your skin, a little, but added a lot of oil to it because I used a cream foundation. I wanted it to feel like a Juicy Couture jumpsuit.
Oh my gosh. But if you were like wearing one on your face.
Yeah, just juicy.
Just juicy.
I always used cream blushes at that time because I felt like powder was too,
Chalky, kind of.
well, it was
or-
too defining. I wanted it to look like it was coming from inside. I created this cream blush and I was using different types, but this one was called Blossom. I don't even remember. Blossom, remember Blossom?
Remember Blossom, y'all? The things that your products in general do is really focus on this warmth and this glow and this healthy kind of aesthetic with skin. Body Bling, the blushes, it really kind of highlights that beautiful, healthy, luscious
So I'd rather you fake it, not bake it.
Yeah.
Amen
to that. Amen to that.
I wrote a whole chapter in my first book called Fake It, Don't Bake It.
Good for you.
Took your mama 9 months to make it.
So you don't bake it.
And burn it and fry
it.
And scorch it.
And get crispy.
And crispy. That's not good.
Crispy ain't cute. Before
I set the foundation, I put the foundation on. We did a little bit of carving. Not a ton. I wasn't overly doing it. What I did in the early 2000s is I was painting with light. And nobody up to that point was doing that. Yeah. Everybody was painting with contour. This is Bedelium Tools 948. It's a great brush. It's like a little hand. And what it does is it just softens everything up. And it allows you to marry things together.
That's great. Especially if you're doing like layered color products, stuff like that.
Yeah, you want to just kind of take the edges off. Yeah,
for sure.
Without like grinding it out because you just laid it in really beautifully. Right. You don't need to like remove it. I can't believe I'm telling you guys all of my hidden secrets. I know, I'm telling you. Can you believe it? And this is where I started painting with the light.
Yeah.
So this is just downright dewy. And I used a big fan brush. And I'm always about lifting. Like if you want to get a really good glow going, you got to lift it.
So some of your most iconic looks in the early 2000s, one that really stands out to me is 2001, the Oscars.
Which one?
The one with J-Lo.
Okay. I've done a lot of things. You got to be more specific. What was she wearing?
The lashes.
Oh. So, story behind that. I really was the first person to create mink lashes.
Oh, wow.
So, let the hate pour in.
Thank you.
I love a mink lash. Yeah. And part of the reason why I love it so much is that it's not harming animals.
Okay.
What they do is, like, the animal has to naturally shed the hair. Otherwise, it's too heavy and you wouldn't be able to.
Sure.
That's why when people buy fur coats, they have to be stored in a cool place
so that they
for the summer so they don't shed. I go to my friend Shuamura, and I was like, help me. I have to create a lash. And I wanted to, well, what my problem was, this is what it was. I was watching all these old films and you would see the lashes and they looked like points, you know? When natural hair comes out, it has to be in a point in order to go through the skin in order to come out. So it goes into a point. It's not cut blunt. And I was like, well, this is ugly. And it would look ugly in photos. And I was like, this isn't pretty. How do we get something that's soft? I went to Shu and I said, can we do like some sort of soft, kind of minky type of situation? Something that has a point. And he sat and he went, hi, you know. So he's Japanese. And we would speak very well, but when we had a large crowd around, he would use an interpreter, but because he felt very comfortable with me and I worked for him for a while. So he was such a good man and I really was an inspiration for me and I had such a great experience with him. Incredible. He sends me fox fur. They were golden, you know. And I put them on John. I thought, oh, I had these lashes made. I don't know if you're gonna like them, but let's try it. She was always down like for whatever. It's like, let's try
creatively.
It. So I'm using the blush palette. I'm gonna use Rosé and Mango Fizz for the signature blushy blusher tint.
Amazing.
In the 2000s, it was all about that cheek.
All about the cheek.
It was cheeky.
Very cheeky. One thing too that I love that you've been a part of and that was actually so many of the things that I watched growing up you did, which I didn't even know until
we got together.
Started working together, was your iconic music videos. You've done so many.
They're very fast, but I call them fast and furious. Like you do these like 24 hours. Like you're on set for 24 hours and you're like, get off the set. You're like, who am I?
Oh my gosh. Like what dimension am I in? What's going on?
You don't even know where you're at. Sometimes you're so delirious. You're like, I feel like I'm on drugs, but I don't take drugs.
Some of the ones that you've done that really stand out to me are It's My Life.
That was a fun video.
Which was so fun. I remember watching it. I remember where I was the first time that I watched it.
Every time I see Gwen, it's a warm feeling. You know, she's a great girl.
I'm a big Gwen fan. You've done so much iconic work with J-Lo. So Love Don't Cost a Thing.
That was fun. That was my first music
That's what I was gonna say. That's your first, right?
My first.
She was so beautiful in that and so glamorous. And it's funny because I'll watch it and her makeup and her skin still look so timeless.
I love women to look really sexy and really beautiful. So it was like, when I came out with this cosmetic line that's out, and we use it all the time and we talk about it a lot, but the reality is this is all stuff that stemmed from me making things because I couldn't get my hands on stuff that worked well. And this was one of those things that was like, this works because I've used it to create covers, movies, videos.
Music videos, you name it.
I feel if you need it, just make it.
Make it.
Yeah, I mean, like, and if that's where the blender comes in, and then the microwave. Let's do a little lippy.
Okay.
Do you not love the lippy book?
This is gorgeous.
I know I talk about this a lot, but if you guys don't have the lippy book, you need to get it.
Yeah.
It's such a great
game changer. But I love this, and I love that this is color coordinated.
Yeah, well, I put the nudies together.
They're naked over there.
Yeah,
together.
the nakeds. This one is my bestseller, just so you guys know. And the reason why it's a bestseller is because it's really from this time period. This is XXX.
Oh.
How do you say naked?
Without saying naked.
Right. She's XXX. She's a dirty girl.
Ooh.
Remember Christina?
Aguilera.
Oh my God, she was like.
I was thinking that. I was like, oh my God.
Dirty.
Dirty. Too dirty to clean that act up.
I worked with her too.
Aww.
Yeah, she was.
So fun.
What an amazing voice and what an amazing artist.
So powerful.
I think I like this.
Dynamic artist. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Feels very sexy, very spicy.
She's gonna get cute here.
She's gonna get real cute. I'd love to talk about some movies.
Oh, let's talk
that
about
you've done. So, Made in Manhattan.
I did. That was the first film I worked on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
say. I had
say.
a lot of firsts in the 2000s. I feel like my heydays right now. I feel like that was my, hey. You're here day.
I like this.
She feels like she's ready for like an MTV award or maybe like Teen Choice Awards.
Teen Choice Awards, for sure.
Do you feel like a Teen Choice Award? I'm using Slice because I need you to have a golden brow.
Okay.
I don't want it to be like eyebrowy.
Well, I think as we kind of already touched on, like you said earlier, the eyebrows were thinner.
Yeah, well, what you can do if you're trying to make a thin brow happen, you just kind of do that. Push the hairs down.
Push them down.
But there was some little tiny brows. It was like
so overplucked, so overwaxed.
Yeah. Thinking of plucking and waxing was Anastasia. She was amazing.
Anastasia, absolutely.
I would see her at everybody's house.
Doing brows?
Doing brows.
I love that. Did she start kind of doing brows like at people's houses, almost like on call?
Well, she did that for celebrities, but she had a salon.
She did.
And she was booked. She was in Beverly Hills, and like literally, you couldn't get in with her.
Yeah.
You were like, okay, sorry.
I'll try again next year.
You were nobody unless you went to Anastasia to get your brows done.
That's so funny.
It was a cool time period.
It was a cool time
It was
period.
like, people were defining what it is that they liked. It was like, I like this. And they were very bold about it. Wait till y'all get to the photo shoot. I'm gonna take you all the way back.
I probably wore half the stuff.
Yeah, you were probably in it.
I was, because those were really like my formative years, I guess, like a little bit older. I mean, I can remember Juicy Couture tracksuits, Von Dutch hats, Ashton Kutcher like pranking people in the Von Dutch hat.
Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh.
She got punked.
She got punked.
Am I getting punked right now? Is this punked?
That's what people would say.
Yeah, it started becoming like a thing.
Ashton coming out, like, am I getting punked? It was so funny.
I'm gonna use from the Snatcher palette the color Laced. And that was another real big term.
My drink was laced. Is that the same thing?
It's the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Laced. I'm gonna use a little bit of Glam Rocks because that was the other thing. It was frosted blue eyeshadow too, and you just didn't blend. Everything went from like the lid all the way out into the brow. There was no, I mean, I used to blend because I just couldn't help myself. But most of the people out there, no blending. There was no blending happening. I'm really just like throwing it everywhere. I'm like, yeah.
Go for it.
Glow, baby, glow. I started doing interviews for magazines and they were like, tell us what this look is that you created. I didn't know what they meant.
What?
Well, they were talking about the glow. Close your eye.
Yeah.
I'm using my finger because I gotta get involved in it.
Do it. I don't know if it's like the oils from your fingers.
No,
or
you just got, it's the pressing.
It's the pressing?
Yeah, you gotta press it. You gotta press it, like, yeah, jam it in. So that like literally 6 years from now, you're trying to like take it off and you're not. It's not coming up. It's like in the crevices of your mind.
Glitterized. Glitzy.
She's glitzery.
She's so glitzy.
And she's glamorous.
And glamorous. So you were talking about doing interviews and people were kind of talking about your skin.
Well, just like, yeah, like what was this? What was this? And I was like, I don't know. It's just what I do, you know? And it was like one of those weird things where I couldn't articulate it to people. I was just like, I don't know, it's just me doing makeup. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's pretty. Buy it. Get it. Get involved in it.
Get involved. So in 2004, I know your beauty line launched on QVC. Can you tell us a little bit about what that was like?
QVC at that point was somewhere that you wound up. It wasn't somewhere that you started. Hawking like books and jewelry and all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
I thought, wow, this is interesting. And this is kind of before the social media hype started. I can be in front of 3 million people at any given minute. Everybody was like, how could you, and by the way, I'm using the Temptation, I think. No, Hollywood and Starlet. I'm working with those two together out of the Natural palette, yes. A lot of bronzies I did. I was really about the bronzy eye.
I feel like you did kind of a smoky eye, but instead of doing traditional blacks and dark colors, you really used browns and kind of more warm tones.
Yeah, I liked, well, because I just love the way it looked on the skin. And especially
It's so
on
beautiful.
Jen, it was like, Jennifer can encompass all that so beautifully and it looked beautiful on her.
For me, I prefer it over traditional black smoky eye, and I think it's much more wearable, and I think it's much sexier because of the warmth. It's not as severe.
Yeah, black can get severe. It's definitely a statement thing.
Yeah.
So QVC.
Yes.
We did good. It was, I launched there. It was great because it was really the first time that I was on a live program where I was selling anything.
Sure.
And doing makeup.
Yeah.
And I had 2 monitors in both ears.
Yeah.
There's like some person that you never see.
Right.
And there's no camera operators. They're all like robotic. And you're just like looking for the red light, looking for the red light. And everything I would pick up, I would go, and then this matte, they'd go, that is sold out. And I was like, okay, so it's sold out. And I'd go, it's kind of funny when you go back and watch it. It was surreal. The whole thing was surreal. And it was because it was really tough. Sure. And then I turned around and opened Saks Fifth Avenue and all these high-end department stores. It was such a way of connectivity. And I've always loved that kind of e-commerce, social media thing because I thought it was always really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Pumped Up Mascara on you. So just look down, that's it. Now, I used to sometimes do shoots and I wouldn't use a lash at times, and other times I did. A lot of times it just depended on our mood. It was like, oh, I'm in the mood to wear like a heavy duty lash. Look a little bit like Christina right now. It's freaking me out.
Is it?
Just a little bit.
I see you like.
You see me looking weird?
Yeah.
So that was my QVC moments. I don't know if I'd like to do that again. I think about it sometimes. I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna go into brazen. Here, let me show you.
Well, I'm very glad you're back, and what a blessing in disguise that it worked out the way that it did, because I feel like you truly are more in your element than you ever have been.
Oh, thank you.
So, and I'm so happy to have you.
And I love this time travel series that we've been doing because it's really, I love history. I'm a history nut. Well, I don't think you can get into the future without going to the past.
Absolutely.
I just don't think it's possible.
No.
I think that you need to like look at where you came from to see where you want to go. I just can't bear just doing that like,
all gold.
Here's your eyeshadow going all the way up into your forehead.
That's funny.
It's pretty.
She's pretty.
Also, black eyeliner was a big thing. What I think it was that it was just a little bit of a throwback from the 80s a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm using this Marc Jacobs pencil. It's my go-to black pencil. I love it for lining. It's really soft. Like that. She's pretty.
She's cute.
She's cute.
She's cute.
I still use this. Like I did it a couple years ago when Jennifer went to the Latin Billboard Awards and she was wearing this Julia McDonald dress. It was gorgeous. And I did a little black on the inside.
Yeah.
It was pretty.
Yeah. It's like just enough
right
to kind of give that eye.
Yeah. Just a little bit of, just you want it, well, especially on you with your blue eyes. I mean, it just goes, it's like all of a sudden we got magic happening. And it doesn't take much to get there. Oh my gosh, movies of the 2000s. These were amazing.
Yes.
Let's talk about them. Legally Blonde.
Love.
Right?
Harvard Law. What? Like it's hard?
What would she do anytime she got stressed out?
Bend and snap.
But she got her nails done.
Oh, she did get her nails done.
So let's talk about nails. Yoko did your nails. This was 2000. This
was so 2000.
It was a French manicure in a square, as I like to call, shovel. You could scoop things up with them. You could part your hair with them. You could do all kinds of things with them.
You could text on your sidekick.
You had a sidekick, remember?
Yes.
The sidekick.
Or maybe a baby fat flip phone, if you were really popping. I always wanted one.
White chicks, the Wayans brothers.
We love the Wayans brothers.
Literally hands down, probably one of my all-time favorite movies. If people ask me what I think is funny, that's what I think is funny.
Agreed.
Mean Girls, they were mean.
Iconic, classic. Tina Fey, Amy Poehler.
Going through it.
Yes.
With those.
Defined a generation with their burn book.
Devil Wears Prada.
Love.
One of the most quotable
Iconic.
movies ever.
Amazing.
Please, by all means.
Please, by all means.
Move at a snail's pace. You know how it thrills me, right? That was great. Twilight.
Camera phones. I remember when these came out.
Camera phones?
Camera phones. It was like a flip phone and then you could take a photo.
Yeah, that was, before that you were just taking
like a disposable camera.
Sending it to the photo mat and then getting it back and then being like, look, I took a selfie.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it, returning it.
It's blurry.
It's kind of blurry.
And then blaming them for it.
Yeah, be like, why didn't you develop this correctly?
Okay.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth came out.
Very cool. It's Bluetooth. Remember the Bluetooth handpieces?
It's like Bluetooth.
Oh, sorry. It's connected to my Bluetooth. 2004. Facebook.
Well, before that, we were in...
We were on MySpace. First of all, it was your song. When people went to your page, what song you had.
I remember
And then
that.
your like top 8, I guess, which were your top 8 interactions. And people used to like go to blows. Like, who is this person in your top 8? Or,
broke up a lot of people.
yeah.
So...
And then...
what we're on right now.
Yay, YouTube.
It was really like,
2005.
yeah, do you remember Chocolate Rain?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Now that you
Rain.
say that.
Sneezing Panda. We love you, YouTubies.
Oh,
Let's do all the slangy kind of terminology.
the slang?
Oh, let's do the terminology from the 2000s.
Bling. Love this.
Hello,
one.
Body Bling.
Body bling.
Everything was blinging.
Everything was blingy, and you
Yeah.
had like plastic crystals on everything.
Everything was bedazzled.
Bedazzled.
Yep.
Paris Hilton.
That's hot.
That's hot.
So hot.
Toting whatever chihuahua she had that week. Word.
Yeah, like that was
Word
like.
to your mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like, I need to put more shimmer in here. I'm going in
Shimmer.
I'm going into the 2 bronzy kind of gorgeous shimmery colors.
Yeah.
That-
Baller.
Well,
I want to be a baller.
you wish you were a baller.
Shot caller.
I think she looks kind of glowy and showy, and
I know.
I really think this is pretty much a
I love
quintessential
this one.
20
Quintessential night. It takes me back.
to the 2000s.
Yeah.
Where
love
everything was like, but I feel like I owned you on this one.
You definitely own me. I got served by this baller right here.
Okay, we're using all the lingo in one sentence. I hope you guys enjoyed this. God bless you guys. I'm gonna do a little glam to cam for me, and I'm
okay.
gonna see you. Stick around. There's a lot of fashion coming up.
Ooh,
So
I'm
I want
excited.
you to do a little glam to cam, and I will see you guys at the photo shoot. But let's first keep your top on.
Yeah.
Okay.